Copman Cap, how are you? Yes, I'm back in Thailand and I'm making my first vlog back in Thailand on my 69th birthday. That's one off 70, and I always felt 70, you can't really argue, 70 is old. So I'm going to try and do poached egg. Of course I am, but the first egg's broken, so that's the first. I haven't got the right tools to dispense them with. Okay, that'll do. It's not ideal because the first one's broken quite bad. Let's have a look, shall we? Yeah. I've got to get it boiling a bit more. Brought a toaster today. I've been toasting it over the bloody gas fire thing there, which is hopeless. Anyway, I'm going to sit down and eat. Here I am, look. And I'm going to tell you how I feel, what I'm thinking. Okay, so there you go, look. I did that first one, broken one again. Doesn't look too bad. Loaded up with loads of carbs, lots of bread, because last night I was hungover, went out, Armistice Day, got 2 mal. So yeah, I'm not gonna eat and talk. I'm gonna have to pour this nice cup of tea, look. Gonna eat my poached eggs, and I'm gonna tell you about yesterday, today, and the next day, and the next, and another day. See, there's the first thing. I've already moved inside because it's too humid to sit outside. Day 2 of trying to make this video. Day 1 was yesterday, which was Wednesday the 12th, and that was my birthday. 69. Poached eggs were lovely. The day before we went out with a mate on Armistice Day and just drank too much really, even though I wasn't drunk, drinking over the whole day from about 3 in the afternoon till not really sure what time we finished. Probably 10 o'clock gone. Anyway, I just had no motivation, and the thing about that is everything I do refers back to ages. 69, I'm just 1 away from the big 7-0. Wow. And obviously hangovers and what have you take a bit longer to get over. I was alright, I wasn't sick, I was just tired, I just didn't want to do anything. So first time ever I stayed in the whole day of my birthday. Watched a bit of Netflix, caught up with YouTube. Did absolutely nothing really, and it was unusual because from the 50th when I had a big party at Tadley Lodge with all my Bowie net friends, through to the 60th, which was a huge party in London, and many other events. Bianca reminded me about a lockdown, coming out of lockdown birthday I did in London, in Soho. Amazing. And on my book face it says I had 138 people wish me happy birthday. I mean, that's incredible. And we know maybe we don't have that many close friends, one hand was worth of close friends. But those Bowie net people, mate, there's a lot of those Bowie net people. And for those that don't know, Bowie net, when David Bowie had his website back in the 90s, he was an internet service provider and he used to go into the chat rooms as Sailor, blah, blah, blah. We knew everybody had different nicknames, use your Bowie lyric. And we sort of got to know each other online. I didn't do any other sort of social media. It was my little private haven where I could just be myself really, and be obsessed with Bowie, of course. And then when he did his last tour, 2002, we all actually got to meet each other, and from there on in, I know I've got lifelong friends, Bowie net, and most of that 138, at least 100 of them, I've 100% met. I know them, we've met. We might have only shared one night together, but the bond we have is immense. So thanks everybody for that, for my birthday wishes. And I'm not used to spending them on my own anymore. I normally do. I had good plans. I was going to go to the warm-up bar in Pattaya, 11 o'clock. Jasmine, my friend's Dark Angel show was going to be on. and we're going to have a steak meal with mate Rob, which the steak meal I cancelled that early on because I just couldn't face eating. And then I was meant to meet with Rob and Andy later on in Rompo Market at 8 o'clock at night. I cancelled that as well because I just didn't, the last thing I wanted to do yesterday was drink. And even today, the only thing I'll be drinking is tea and water. So that's poor me over. Spain or Thailand. I think I'm back, because again of the time restraints on finding a home, I'm stuck with Spain, mainland or Thailand. It's not a bad stick, is it? It's a better stick than, at least I've got the option. And I think Spanish mainland will still win. I much prefer the weather. It's humid. We've had a massive rainstorm this morning again, thunder and rain, and it's quite cool. It's nice. It's not too humid to be out here today. I'm all right. It's it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, bloody hell. So it's a bit dark, isn't it? But that's the way it is, I think. Let's see if we can move around here. So yeah, I've just been talking to myself for 5 minutes, full 5 minutes, and didn't have the camera on. So let's go again. My plan, how do I feel about being back in Thailand? Let's get it in the right order. Well, when I went away last spring and come back, first week or so, it felt strange. It didn't feel that comfortable, and I think it probably feels the same at the moment. Although after a couple of days, it's starting to feel a bit more, I'm feeling a bit more settled again. But all them friends, 138 friends, or at least 100 people, all from Europe and America and the UK. By being here, I've cut myself off from all of them. There have been loads of different parties and events that have been going on, music events in England especially, where I could go and meet up, and if I was in Europe, I could easily travel to some of my European friends. The European canon is here, yes he's here. I must be only one in a million. Yeah, I still get sidetracked a lot. So, yeah, I think the weather, I know Spain in the peak summer is super hot and cold in the winter. I think that's all right. I'm used to seasons. I'm English. I don't mind the seasons. So Byron the Buffalo, look, he's still up with us. I think that'd be his name because it's in honour of my dad then. BB. Yeah, I prefer the Spanish weather, the humidity. On that holiday, I looked to eat out every night because it wasn't humid or anything. And in Thailand, I'm already looking to eat inside all the time with the aircon because it's so bloody humid any time of day or night. And we had a big rain this morning. It was really cool up until about 1 o'clock time. It's now 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's getting humid again now, so starting to sweat up a bit. So my thing about, I'm going to be here till end of February. I'm meeting up with Ted and H. They're going to Hua Hin over Christmas, and I'm going to go around and meet them there, and spend 10 days there. So my Christmas and New Year, I'll be with a couple of friends, people I met in Soho, and turned into good friends, really good friends to be fair. Similar position, just 10 years behind me with their ages, but both retired and starting to travel the world. So I'm going to meet up with them, and then I have to or even now, start to look and plan 2 ways for me to go to Spain. 90 days, end of February, my retirement visa runs out here, and it'll only cost me £300 to renew it. So I do plan to renew it if I can next year. Need a 12-month rental contract, so if I can renew it just before my rental contract here runs out, which again is end of February, early March, that would be ideal. Then that's just a backup really, and then either 90 days in Spain, or I can apply for the Spanish visa to have the flexibility to go for 12 months. Now, the thing about the Spanish visa, there were 2 companies in Spain I was going to use for it, and 2 proper decent companies, and they both said exactly the same. I have to apply in Thailand where I've got utility bills, although the utility bills are never in your name in Thailand. But I can't apply from the UK even though I'm a taxpayer in the UK, which confused me a little bit, but that must be the way. And I know a company, Siam Legal, there's a base here in Pattaya across over, only about 2 miles from here. I did a little short on them once because they do wills and tax numbers and things like that. And they do European visas. So I'm going to go and see them, see if I can get a 12-month one, because if I get a 12-month one and I've also got my Thailand one, I've got all my options. I'm not closed off anywhere. I can kind of do what I want that first year. But also 90 days would be enough. 3 months would be enough as well, because then I can come back to Thailand for 2 or 3 months, because the retirement visa will still be in place. Hopefully by then I'll have made a decision or found somewhere that I really do want to live. I need that base, I need that home, I need that bolt hole. And I've said it a few times before, one of the biggest reasons for that is I need to be around all my Bowie memorabilia I've got. I've got tens of thousands of pounds worth of records and collectible stuff and prints and art, and I need to get rid of it. And I know I've been saying that for literally 6 years now, but you've got to be sat around it to get rid of it, to list it. It's all stacked away now, so if I'm sat around it, that means me going back to living in Didcot at £1,000 a month plus in a little studio flat, which I'm not keen on. So there's lots of complications, but yeah, for the time being I'm going to settle more into here. 2 or 3 months Thailand now again. Maybe it's my last full-time living here, maybe it's not. Maybe I'll do 6 months and 6 months, which is another possibility. But yeah, one day I think, you know, not many other people I know don't have a base, don't have a home, don't have somewhere where all their shit is. And although we don't need a lot of shit, you still need somewhere as a base, really. So that's where I'm at. Need a shave, don't I? I'm gonna go today. I've got to go and get my Vespa. I've got to go and order 2 tyres for it. I'll get it serviced, and the seat is starting to split a bit. So I'm gonna go to Family Scooter people, where I bought the scooter. They got a new place on 3rd Road. They're also in Supercow. Gonna go there and order the tyres and a service and get that scooter done. Oh, and the other thing, I found a place in Jomtien that specialises in aches and pains, and one of them is plantar fasciitis. Yes, that bloody policeman's heel, I've still got it. Absolute agony. So I'm going to go and see how much it is for treatment to start treating that. I think they do a heat treatment on it or something. I don't know, but going to go and find out about that. And so that's my 2 tasks today. Nothing much else. Relaxing day. Fully recovered from the hangover. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. I'll only make videos when I feel I got something to say, which can be quite a lot sometimes and nothing sometimes, but I'm not going to make any promises. I'm thinking maybe 1 a week at the most, really, just on my updates and my thought process and how I'm doing and what I'm doing. Okay, cop and cap. Thank you.